We're live. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Titch and Geezer's Results Roundup episode. Do you know what episode it is?
Fuck no. 10?
15.
Fucking hell.
Crazy, isn't it? Yeah, it's episode 15.
15. And
yeah.
And we're still shit.
We're still shit. We talking about us or West Ham or both?
West Ham, both.
Right, I see a couple comments. As always, big up Stuart, disabled team, Stuart Lee. Good evening, brothers. Hope you're well. I'm good. How are you, Geezer?
Yeah, good, mate. Good. Yeah, woke up a bit later this morning. Not quite as awake yet as I normally am, but we'll get there.
Evening TDT. Big up Roberto
Yeah, Robert.
And big up my man. Look, these two are in sync. So big up Lawrence. Hello, everyone from Lexington, Kentucky, USA. Coming you out and instantly. Good evening, all. Big up Wally World. As always, appreciate everybody that takes part in this little thing we're doing. Much appreciated.
Yeah. The Yanks have landed.
The Yanks have, howdy, partner. I was like singing before we came on air. I want to know, Lawrence will know this. Where's Wally? I still can't believe Wally don't know. But Kieran, you heard of Boys to Men, innit?
Yeah.
Of course you have.
Yeah.
Like, I cannot believe. I know. Yeah.
Wally knows now, doesn't he? He's been studying them ever since.
I don't think he's still there. But they're from Philly. Do you understand? They're like, and a lot of their songs went, into the charts and stuff. So even if you're not an R&B or everybody knew Boys to Men apart from Wally. Good evening, Robert. Hope you're well. Stu Rob.
Yeah, but you'll be surprised in what you think is big and everywhere. Certain places and states in America and places here in Australia, it's all about radio play, and some things just don't get played. But even here in Australia, you might have massive hits back in the UK, and they just don't play them here.
I agree with that.
And Adele one, they'll get played, of course. But there's certain big hits that don't get played here, or you have to listen to a certain type of radio station to hear it.
Exactly. But Philadelphia and Boys to Men. They would have been playing that as well as across the country. They would have been playing that in Philly all the time. And maybe Wally was in this country. No, it's too early actually. Nah,
because I do. We Wally and Lawrence we were well aware of Anthony. What's his name? My man Anthony, and that massive hit, which is nearly about 100 million views now. But I bet none of the UK would know that song. Oliver Anthony,
I think so. I think because of social media now, it'd probably be on snippets on TikTok and all of that. So I think because of that, they probably.
But that doesn't get any airplay in the UK. That wouldn't get airplay.
I doubt it. When I'm in the car, I need to listen to. It's now Capital. It's basically Choice FM, but it's like Capital. I think they've changed it to Capital Extra. So any station the only station I listen to wouldn't play. They wouldn't play that on Capital Extra. Is it Capital Extra? But it's Choice
I've
FM.
never heard it played here. Let's put it that way. I've never heard that song played in Australia. But it may be on some radio. Maybe there's a country radio station out there would play it. Maybe, but to me, it's an important song. It should be played everywhere.
Right. So, Stuart said, even I know who Boys to Men are, and I know Jack about music. But this one here, I don't know if Lawrence is talking about the one you were talking about. Heck yeah. You're Geezer. Very popular here. So that song is popular in America.
It is.
I've got a phone call. One sec. Let me.
Right, it's Boys to Men. Checking him out. Thanks for the promotion. Well done. Yeah, Oliver Anthony. I love that song. Mate. I think it's a really important song. Loved it. Like I say, that's up to 100 million views now. So, wow.
And rightly so as well. And it's probably certain stations would have maybe chose not to play it so much so because of the message, but it's still something you just can't hold them back. Right. Kieran 2 is in the house. Says R.I.P. West Ham.
Can't argue
that.
Got a bit of a touch up. It was coming. It was coming. Sooner or later, that luck we've been having is going to run out. And it run out big time.
Right, he says, evening suckers. Although we've come to the end of the road.
That was lovely little anthem, that. Every teenager in the world loved that.
And let go. It's so natural. Join
They
in.
got, not bad voice there, son. Had great harmonies, didn't they, in the Voice to Men? They had have good harmonies.
And one of them had a really deep voice. He used to do like anytime there was like speaking, he would talk, but obviously when he's harmonizing, he's got a real deep voice. But look, see, Kieran knows that I'm gonna always only thing that I would listen to sports radio and classic rock station.
Yeah.
At least my man Robert knows. Robert knows end of the road.
Yeah, another good win for Leeds at the weekend, I see. Another 2-0.
2-0 away to Blackburn.
Yeah, I haven't seen the highlights of that yet, but I see Stewie's review. But yeah, another good win. Keeping them going. They're racking up the wins on the board.
Yeah, doing well, really well. Everyone has heard of that song except for, the man from Philly. They're called Men to Old Geezers now. middle to old age.
They'd probably still fill a stadium, wouldn't they?
Yeah, definitely. Even Lee didn't think West Ham was going to lose 5-0. He went 4-0. He knew. Better change Shirley Ann out of her West Ham goes quickly. Long road ahead of her if she stays down, right? Just because you said that.
Yeah. Take it off this week anyway, mate.
Just because you said that, misery loves company. So there she is. she's solidified hammer now. So
yeah, that's a cracky little suit.
It is. She looks like look at her face. Oh, you can't. But she looks happy that she's wearing that. Well, she was until the weekend. Yeah.
Lucky enough, she can't understand what 4 or 5-0 looks like.
She just likes the colours. The colours look good. Claret and blue. Yeah, this is nice.
But anyway, it was a good touch-up. Fair play to Fulham. That was superb.
Exactly. Right. So once again, I've sort of cherry-picked the fixtures. So they're not according to whatever. Shall we begin? Adorable Shirley. I was meant to send you the fixtures, wasn't I, for the next lot of fixtures?
Yeah, you was.
Yeah.
Fucking you.
Right. So we will start with some of the games, when it looks at results. We'll go down to the South Coast, I believe. Is Brighton South Coast? It is, isn't it? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, there we go. Brighton won, Burnley won. Burnley did actually take the lead on 45 minutes. Wilson, Odebert, and then Simon Adingra, 77 minutes. So, Brighton won, Burnley won. Tell me how much you see of this game. Anybody in the chat?
Yeah, I saw the highlights. And, funny enough, Trafford, the keeper for Burnley, come good in this game. He made some bloody good saves. A lot of good saves, and he's been a little bit dodgy over the... since the start of the season. A lot of question marks about him. And, he pulled off some great saves in that. And they scored a good goal, but it was a deflection off Milner, Burnley. They hit a good shot, but it looped off Milner into the top corner. Not a lot you can do about that. And Brighton just hammered them in the second half and got the goal in the end. They beat Trafford in the end. And, they deserved the point. And this is sort of Brighton's season, I think. They're going to win games and they're going to draw and they're going to lose an odd one. Yeah, and they're still good, still look good. But Burnley's average, but it's a good point for Burnley, isn't it? Anyone gets a point at Brighton, they're doing well. Yeah. So, and I think Trafford, was a lot to do with that.
Lucky she was asleep when the game was on and it wasn't on Sky, so she doesn't know. Exactly. Keep it from her.
No, don't mention it. Don't mention it.
So there's not really much to say about the because obviously we'll spend longer on other games. So I'm trying to think if I could think of any sort of questions.
Just a good point for Burnley, isn't it? Gives them something to hold on to.
Yeah.
You know, we had the years we struggled to go to Brighton and get anything. You know, done it for the first time this season. You know, and we had to put 11 men behind the ball to do it.
Yep.
You know, Burnley had a little bit more about that. But there you go.
All right.
And that was he Odeberg? Did they say that geezer's name?
Yeah, Wilson Odeberg. Never heard of him.
Yeah, I noticed him. He looked quick. He looked sharpish. Yeah, he didn't look bad.
All right. So going back to last show, I was gonna say last week. It wasn't like what was our predictions for this game? Surely somebody picked 1-1. Surely.
Well, I don't know. I think most people would go for a Brighton win, wouldn't they?
Yeah, but
right. I picked 2-1 to Brighton. You picked 3-0 to Brighton. Robert picked 2-1 to Brighton. Stu picked 2-0 Brighton. Wally picked 2-1. Harmony picked 2-2. Charlie Boy picked 2-1 to Brighton, and young Kieran picked 3-0. So everyone went for a win.
Yep. But I've just confirmed by VAR that Lawrence picked 1-1. So yep, Lawrence, well done, mate.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, Lawrence done his own. I'm sure he'll tell us all the correct scores he's got.
He texted me during the show because
Lawrence, you should have a real clean sweep this week.
He so committed that even though he had to go, he was private messaging me. Yeah.
If you miss again, Lawrence, just send them in to me or to Titch.
Yeah.
Just send you. Yeah, if you miss the thing, send them in by WhatsApp, whatever, and I'll write them out.
Kieran can write them down. Yeah, that's a good idea actually. Right, so let's move on to the next game on our list, which was another one, just a little 1-1. Wolves 1, Forest 1. It could have potentially been Steve Cooper's job on the line. Harry Toffolo scored on 40 minutes. Mateus Cunha 32. It ended up staying like that. 1-1 Midlands derby away point for Wolves. What do you think about this game?
Yeah, it was quite a boring. What I've seen of it, it was quite a boring game. Cunha scored a good goal though. It was a good goal, and I remember that bit. I just wrote down Kuati. It's just strange to see Kuati's name on the pitch, and he broke through up front and bloody nearly scored.
He got a nosebleed, didn't he?
Yeah, he couldn't quite beat the keeper with it, but he had a 1-on-1. But yeah, it was just strange to see him. And that's it really in that game. Well, it's a Midland derby. I suppose it stems the bleeding for Forest. I mean, they've lost about 6 on the trot, haven't they? Or 5 on the trot. So, and there's talk of sacking him if he'd lost that game. I just don't see the point of that myself, but maybe they do. Because I still think whatever they do, they'll still should have enough to stay up.
This season, definitely.
We'll see. But it's a good away point for Forest. And Wolves just keep plodding on, don't they? They'll be all right. From the round, between 10 and 15, and that's where they're going to end up. So.
One thing I would like to note is that through their bad form and all of that, the Forest fans was continuously singing Steve Cooper's name. So I think they are
they're definitely behind it.
Yeah, they're behind.
Yeah, he hasn't lost the fan base. You know what I mean? They're fair that they haven't forgot what he done to get them to the Premier League.
Yeah,
and they are behind him. Yeah, so that matters a lot, I think.
It does. It really does. Right, so I thought we wouldn't be on that one too long. So comments, 1-1, Geezer. Oh, I was about to move on. Right, so what did we all pick for this one? Did anybody go for a 1-1? Kieran is still yet, in maybe 5 live shows, he's yet to get a correct score. This is the week. Remember, he was confident. He said, this week, back in having it, mate.
I'm still not doing it, mate. I'll tell you. I said Wolves 2-1.
Yeah.
I'm getting close to a lot, but not winning. I went 2-1. You said 3-2 to Wolves. Oh. Robert said 3-0 to Wolves. Stu said 2-0 to Wolves. Wally said 2-1 to Wolves. Army said 2-0 to Forest. Charlie Boy went 2-1 to Wolves. And young Kieran said 4-1.
All right, no one today.
No one went for a draw. And yeah, I'm surprised I didn't pick a draw for that, Midland derby.
I think Lawrence sent me. Yeah, he did. Look, late breaking news. He also, he definitely. Let me just check my WhatsApp.
You're on fire, Lawrence.
Lawrence
on fire.
Definitely. Robert says, "Oh, doo-doo." Right, next game. Yeah, because you lot obviously more. Some of these games will be more in depth. Right, this one, Palace 1, Liverpool 2. Palace obviously went 1-0 up. We got a red card from Jordan Ayew on 75, and then a minute later, Mohamed Salah scores, and then Harvey Elliott in 90+1 scored a Mo Salah-esque goal. Yeah, what did you watch the game? Yeah, once again, what was your thoughts on?
Yeah, I think that it was a bad day for Liverpool, to be honest. I think they had Klopp said it in the thing. He said we played really bad for 70-odd minutes. We were poor.
Yeah.
And Harvey Elliott comes on and to the rescue. Yeah, they got lucky. The Ayew standing up was a bit soft. I think he got 2 silly yellow cards. One for standing in front of a free kick, that Van Dijk just kicked it at him.
And he didn't even touch him, though. He didn't even touch
him. No, he didn't even jump out of the way of it, but still got a yellow. And the other, I didn't think much. There was much of it. It was a tackle. He fouled, but I didn't think he deserved another yellow, to be honest. But he got sent off. Yeah, well, no, I thought Alisson, because Alisson saved them. Again, here they go with these goalkeepers. Alisson pulled off a couple of fantastic saves.
Yeah,
and that's the difference, They win that game because of Alisson pulls off saves. No, especially one of them, I didn't think he should have done. Should have scored it. And he fucking got a hand to it, push it onto the post. It was a great save. And there was another one near the end there. He pulled it, another great save.
Yeah.
So, he saved the day for him. Harvey Elliott comes on and bangs one. So, yeah. And was it? This was why. A disallowed goal in it near the end. Is that the?
Is it disallowed? Oh, somebody handballed it. No.
Is that the handball one?
I think it's.
Oh no, yeah, it was the handball one, wasn't it? Was it? Anyway,
I remember you're talking. Oh, you're talking about the Arsenal game. No, what game was that? The handball.
No, I remember the Arsenal one, but unless I wrote that note down on the wrong thing. Was there a disallowed goal near the end?
Yeah, they did have a disallowed goal. No, sorry. Or was it they thought they should have had a penalty in the first half? They didn't get one. And they got one in the second. I know that. Was it a disallowed goal? Anybody in the chat, was it a disallowed goal for this one? Because, I can't remember.
It doesn't matter. It don't matter. But, Liverpool came good in the end, didn't they? They nicked it.
Is it any coincidence that they didn't score those 2 goals until Palace went down to 10? I mean...
Well, was it right at the death, you know what I mean? Palace are hanging on, so I don't think it really matters if you lose a player and you're hanging on to a game and you're defended. Having 10 men behind the ball instead of 11 really shouldn't make a lot of difference.
Yeah,
it really shouldn't. You know what I mean? You've got everyone. You're just not having your striker up front, really. That guy that should be up there, he shouldn't be back there anyway. I mean, it helps if you bring everyone back, as Moyes would do. But I wouldn't put it down that. They just enough pressure from Liverpool, and they nicked it. Some days they wouldn't get that goal, and they'd hang on, but they didn't.
Right, well, before we get into I'm sure I picked 2 unfinished, but I don't want to know it because I'm going to get to comments. But that win and then alongside all of the rest of the results after that means that Liverpool are now top of the league. So a vital 3 points for them.
Wouldn't it?
Right, let me just quickly get to the comments and we'll get to the scores. Right, here we go. Bye, Upper Lawrence, 2 out of 2. Right, Roy was fuming. Mr. Roy Hodgson. Wasn't a brilliant Liverpool show, but grinded out the result. Mark of champions. Yep, like I said, and that put them top. Ayew blocking free kick and a foul with intent to break up play is 2 yellows. Silly red card to get on his part. He must feel a bit to blame for that. Like, personally, must do. Diaz scored. Oh, that's it. Here we go. Diaz scored a 3rd goal, but it was offside. Yep, there you go. I remember it now. Thanks.
Is that what it was? I just can't bloody remember it. So.
Yeah. Luis Diaz. Palace had a disallowed penalty. Yep, that was in the first half. And
that's right. I think that was right because I think it was a foul before it led to the penalty. The penalty would have been a penalty, but the foul was given previous to that in the ball.
Will Hughes.
I think it was a foul.
It was
to be honest. I'd rather Palace got hit, but it was a foul for me. I think it was the right decision.
Yeah,
that was it. That was it.
A free kick was awarded to Liverpool before the offside through VAR. Wow. Sorry, before the pen. Yeah. That's the Will Hughes thing. Right. I'm sure I picked 2-1 Liverpool. I think just
Yeah.
from memory. Anyway, let's go. Let's see. Let's see.
2-0. I picked 2-0 to Liverpool. I cannot get one. Titch picked 2-1 to Liverpool. Man.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Robert picked 3-2. Stu went 3-1. Wally, my man, you picked 2-1. Wally's in as well.
Yes, Wally and Lawrence.
4-0 by Arnold. Charlie Boy picked 3-1 to Liverpool, and young Kira picked 3-1 to Liverpool. So, yeah. Oh, shit now.
Right, look who's in the house. Big up, Charlie Boy. Wagwan.
Charlie Boy.
I hope you're good. And as always, man, glad you could tune in. So, me, Lawrence, and Wally are killing it this week with the correct.
yeah. You got a bit to go to catch up with Lawrence, mind you. Got a funny feeling he's going to do well.
T.I.'s on the board. Hey, man. Right, so me and Wally, fire.
Yeah, fire.
Boys,
usual.
Yeah, boys to men, that's Wally. Wally's on board. ACB. You already know what I picked. Exactly. Lawrence also picked.
Yeah, I did. I've marked it out for 10 points, Lawrence. Start.
Right, let's go on to this game. Luton Town 1, Man City 2. No Erling Haaland. Man City went down in 1-0 in injury time or stoppage time of the first half. Came back through Bernardo Silva and Jack Grealish in quick succession. Got them out of a sticky patch for them.
Yeah.
What do you think about this game? Was you surprised at how close it was score-wise, or what do you reckon?
No, I weren't, because I keep saying about Luton at home with that crowd behind them and the atmosphere, especially Man City. They've been struggling lately, you know. I think this isn't a game I think they would have wanted.
Nah.
You know, because it is a tough place to get. They're making it a tough place to go, Luton, for anyone. And look, man, don't get me wrong, Man City dominated the game. But my word, that Kaminsky, again, this boy is some keeper. I don't know, where they grabbed him from, but they have done well to get him. He pulled off save after save after save, mate. He was really good. Really rate this keeper, mate. And what did I write down on it? I forgot where we are. Where are we? Don't remember. I fucking can't find it.
He's I didn't know he's Belgium. Kaminsky. It doesn't sound Belgian, does it? Right.
And they went what? Yeah, where'd they get him on?
Blackburn.
Did they?
Yeah.
Tell you what, he's earning his money. I'll give him that. But they open the scoring, mate. But that's just. It's what happens when you got a striker that's 9 foot tall and you put the ball up to him and a batter. Man, he just towers above everyone, doesn't he?
Yeah.
And he just headed it in. But I'd be banging crosses in all day long for that boy. It's huge. But they went 1-0 up, didn't they? And Barkley, I think he's been one of the biggest donkeys ever. But he's turning into like Messi lately. Yeah. In that game, man, some of his footwork and skill, and he really did. I'll give him credit, and I have knocked him in the past a lot. And my God, he was good, really good. I mean, he's playing with a lot of freedom and confidence, Barkley. And he was unlucky, and some great bit of skill. Skipped past a couple of players near the end there, have a shot that went wide. But I've been really impressed with Barkley with Luton. He's playing well. But again, Luton, fair play to them. They battled hard, mate, gave them a run for their money. And like I said, they're the only ones I think that look like they could do that until this week, that is.
Yeah.
And Man City got it done in the end. But again, none of these teams at the top, what we consider them three that we believe that are going to win it, would be Liverpool, Arsenal, or Man City. None of them are convincing.
Nah, they're not.
No, none are convincing. Normally, City at this stage are fairly solid, convincing wins, but they're not. And neither are Liverpool or neither are Arsenal. It's it's a strange season to predict at the moment.
Yeah.
But
it's we. I'm sure everybody is enjoying that. It's a competitive season.
Well, that's right. Yeah, we've actually got a competition here. We've actually got a competition, so it's probably going to be better for the league in the long run. The longer this continues, when they're not winning every game, the better it is for the league, I think, and who wins.
Because obviously in sports we do want it to be as competitive as possible, don't we?
Yeah, exactly.
Right. So let me, before I know I said 4-0 Man City for that one, let me get to the comments. Boom. Charlie, my man. City got through it in the end, but looked somewhat more fluid side without Haaland. Kaminsky is from the US, I think. No, he says Belgian as a nationality. He might have been born there or whatever, but he represents Belgium. I don't know if he's played for them. Wally is on a roll. Never mind. US. City's first win in 5 weeks. That's what I'm saying. They needed that because, it's, the longer that goes on. Right. So I know I said 4-0 for this game. What was the predictions from us lot?
Yeah, I wouldn't have got this right, that's for sure.
I think you said
3-0.
I said 4-0.
Right, I said 3-0. You said 4-0. Man City. Robert said 4-1 to Man City. Stu said 4-1. Oh, you're having a fucking.
Did Wally say 2-1?
Wally?
He did, didn't he?
What is going? Is he cheating somehow? What's he doing? Wally said 2-1 to Man City. Wow. Well said, Wally. He's off again. I said 5-0. Charlie Boy said 4-0 to Man City, as did young Kieran. So Wally, What is he doing?
Wally,
is he studying things that we ain't, or what?
Wally is seriously. That is a crazy pick.
That's a good pick. That's a good pick. That.
Just checking my messages from last week. And Lawrence also said Man City 2, Luton 1 from last week. So these Americans, they've got a system. They know what they're doing. But yeah, Wally, that's crazy.
Yeah, good pick.
You know what? I swear to God, when I read these comments, Kieran, because it's quite, you misheard me, because it was like the screen's far away. I thought Lawrence said Wally is sleeping with me, but obviously he said Wally's keeping up with me. I thought he said Wally's sleeping with me. I swear to God.
All right.
And then look, Wally's sleeping with me, and then he said, "Hell yeah." We have time travel here. No, seriously, Wally, that's a crazy prediction.
Good pick.
Yeah, good pick. So Wally's got 2.
Well, then again, I didn't know Haaland was injured, so that might have changed my thoughts.
I didn't know that either. I said 4-0, didn't I? Right. So,
but then again, neither did Wally, for that matter. So.
Unless he really is a time traveler and he's not telling us. Right. Next game was Chris Wilder's Sheffield United 1, Brentford 0. On loan, James McAtee from Man City scored in first half stoppage time. Great goal as well. Obviously, the first game, was Chris Wilder in charge when they lost 2-0 to Liverpool? Was it? I can't remember. Or was he just there? Or was he actually in charge? Because they said his first.
I think he was in charge. Yeah, I think he'd taken over. That was his first game. Pretty sure.
But we've clearly seen a change, in those 2 games.
Absolutely.
A massive.
Yeah, I think he looks like he'll make a difference. I don't know if it'll be enough, but it was a good start to play Brentford with Mbeumo missing. And I didn't know this McAtee. Jesus, what's a goal! I'll tell you what, that deserves more credit probably than it's getting. That is an absolute. This wasn't one that he hit and it looped over.
Yeah,
he hit that ball and went up in the air and came down right in the top corner. What a goal it was! Really good goal, man.
Great goal, and he proved to be the winning goal as well, which makes it for me even more like clean sheet as well. United.
What's that, mate?
Clean sheet for Sheffield United as well.
Yeah, clean sheet, which is this is what you got to do, isn't you? When you're down the bottom, that counts for everything. Clean sheets. They looked a bit toothless, Brentford, without Mbeumo.
Yeah.
To be fair, and that's all I wrote on that. Archer's looking good for them.
He's decent. He is a decent.
Yeah, the last couple of games I've noticed him in. I haven't mentioned him much, but Archie looks like a good little player, man. So fair play to Sheffield United. It makes a couple of others around them think. Now they've got a new manager. They stuck 3 points on the board. Could they go on a little bit of a run, catch someone?
Yep.
Still going to be tough. Really, really tough. Because even the teams that they're trying to catch are putting points on the board.
Yeah.
So Very tough, bro.
Right. Listen, I've asked this question before, but now that they've got Chris Wilder back in charge, now that Burnley, picked up a few points, I'll ask everybody, including Giza, if you had to pick one of them that would stay up, Sheffield United, Burnley, or Luton at this stage now, who would you pick if it were to be one of them to stay in the Premier League? Who would you pick? Everybody in the chat as well.
I would still stick with Luton, but I fear for all three of them. I can't see. And the problem is, it's not what they're doing now. And I think like Sheffield United will get a boost. They'll all start picking up. They'll all get better, I'd think. Right.
Yeah.
Luton are already there. They didn't need the boost. But the trouble is, they were looking at Bournemouth and they were looking at Everton to try and catch. And they're not going anywhere. They're just going forward, them two teams. So who else could drop into it?
Forest.
Who can, is it Forest? You know what I mean? They'll have to keep an eye on one. You need one team to be able to try and catch.
Yeah, for some bit of hope. Yeah. It's
So
Forest, really,
at the moment, Forest are your best bet at the moment on form. So, yeah, very tough for all of them. But I'd still stick with Luton.
You're sticking with Luton. Right. Kieran says Gus Hamer is one hell of a player. Wilder looks to be settling the ship. I do like.
Yeah, that Hamer. I've seen it. Yeah, he scored a screamer, didn't he?
Yeah, early in the season.
At the beginning of the season, absolute screamer. I haven't seen much of him since, though, really. But then again, they've been poor since, so you can't judge it. We'll see how he comes good now under Wilder. You might see the best of him.
Right, Robert says Brentford have lost 4 in the last 5, which is quite Brentford. Yeah, from what
very nice.
Yeah.
So when you look at it that way, could they be a team that get dragged into it? But for them to be dragged in it, these teams have to go on a run of results.
Exactly, because they've
and the Christmas, as you know, the amount of games over Christmas that could be, if they could pick up a couple of wins, a couple of draws, you never know.
Right, Wally says if anyone, Burnley stays.
Well, I'll go with Wally then.
Yeah.
He's on fire.
Stuart says Luton, if any. Robert says none. All 3 of them goes down. He's not even entertaining the hypothetical. He's like, nope.
Yeah,
they're gone.
I'd like to see it get more interesting and drag a couple of teams into it, but not looking likely.
All right. I think I picked 2-1 Sheffield United here. Right. What did we pick for this?
Right then, what do we pick? I hadn't got a clue what I picked for this.
I'm sure I picked 2-1 Sheffield United. I definitely wouldn't have picked 1-0.
1, for fuck's sake, I can't get a thing right. I picked 1-1. I actually gave Sheffield United a draw. I gave them a point.
I gave them a win, didn't I?
And you gave them 2. You said 2-1 to Sheffield United.
I thought so. Robert
got a draw as well. He went for 0-0. Told you no 0-0s in this league anymore, Robert. Told you. Shu went 2-1 Brentford. Wally went 2-1 Brentford. Harmony went 2-2. Charlie Boy went 2-2. And young Kieran went 1-0.
Oh, right. So
a lot of people close. A few people picked draws, and like myself, and no one picked the 1-0. Actually, no one picked Sheffield. Yeah, you picked Sheffield United to win, didn't you? You're the only one, but 2-1.
Right. Anyway. Kieran says, think Sheffield United, if any, but I expect to be all 3. Wouldn't be surprised if Forest get dragged into the battle. Yeah, I agree with that. Stuart, this is why I don't think Brentford sell Tony in January. Right.
Well, I think you could be right now.
We'll wait for Geese. Oh, the next game up. Look, watch this. He can't hear me anything. I'll just leave it on the screen. Let's see what he says when he comes back to the screen. Because I don't think he can hear me. Yeah. Shit. Testing. In earphones. Let's see what he says when he looks at the screen. Look at the screen.
Nice to have that up your sleeve, though, isn't it? If you're really doing bad and you've got Tony to come back.
Yeah.
That could be handy.
Right, look at the screen.
Oh, for fuck's sake. We're going there, are we?
Yeah, I thought, you know what? I'll put that in the middle. I'm getting this out of the way. Not straight away, but out the way.
Yeah, out of the way, man.
Right.
Because I didn't even write anything down for that because it's etched into my head and my memory. What happened on this one? Fucking hell. I'll tell you what, for 10 minutes, we looked all right. I mean, it wasn't bad. It wasn't a bad start by us. Else was looking good, and then that was it. That was it for the rest of the game. Oh, it was embarrassing. It was. I thought they were really good, full of really good. They played some good football. They just tore us apart, and some good goals, man. There was nothing. We offered nothing, but this has been coming. I've been saying it for a long, long time. Sooner or later, we're going to come up a team. All the luck runs out, and they're just going to put us to the sword. It's going to happen, but I didn't expect it to be Fulham. And mental, wasn't it? Fulham. You know, I said this 4 weeks ago. I could not buy a goal.
I was about to say.
Yeah.
I was about to say. I blame this all on you. You said,
Yeah,
Jimenez is shit. Fulham don't score goals. Blah blah blah.
Jimenez.
This is your fault. You caused this.
Jimenez was gone, mate. Look, your shadow of him, former self, and now he's come to the fore again in the last 2 weeks. And then Willian again, even though he only lasted 45 minutes, was superb. That Harry Wilson's goal, what a banger that was. You know what I mean? Come in on his left foot and just hit the top corner. You're not saving that now. You were good everywhere. We were bad everywhere. But you can't take it away from Fulham. They were superb on the day, mate. They run us ragged. It was a mess. We were a mess.
You can hear me, can't you?
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. Sorry to cut you because Robert says I'm losing you. Hello, you there? Can't hear you. But Robert, let us know when you can. Well, if he can't hear us, he's not gonna. One sec. You hear me still?
Is he the only one?
Can you hear me, Kieran?
I can hear you. All loud and clear here, mate.
Let me just type that and let's see, because then Robert can at least read the comments. I was about to ask him, can he hear us? But then, obviously, if he can't hear us, he won't hear. Yes, I've typed it in there. Right. Lawrence can, Kieran can, Wally can. Right, should have saved the best game till last. Predict Geezer says, fuck. I'm losing you, hello. You there? Question. Would you rather beat Spurs? Oh, it's a good question, actually. This is right. This is a good question. Right, I think Robert might have gone. Right, so I was going to say, before you answer that question, yeah? If somebody would have offered us West Ham fans Palace at home, Spurs away, and Fulham away, if they would have offered us 4 points, we would have assumed it was we beat Palace at home, we draw with Fulham away, and we lose to Spurs away. Would you have been happy with not happy in hindsight? Would you have taken 4 points from those games before the fixtures, before they was played, and the form Fulham was in?
Yeah, I think you would have done it. You would have done it. If someone said you get 4 points in them 3 games, you go, yeah, that ain't too bad. But that goes out the window. I mean, yeah, I'd rather beat Tottenham than Fulham any day. 3 points, much more enjoyable. Even if we did shit house to win. But yeah, but if we'd lost this weekend 1-0 to Fulham, yeah, you take it. But to absolutely get battered 5, and I mean 5 that could have been 8. Now, this isn't one of them 5-0s that doesn't reflect the game. This does reflect the game, and that's the worry. You know what I mean? That's the worry.
Robert's a little shit. I was.
Yeah, Robert. Panic station's kicking in, just taking a piss.
Maybe he was trying to.
He just don't want to hear this Fulham.
Yeah, distract us from this shit.
Neither do I. I don't even want to talk about it, Robert. That's that. But yeah, absolutely hammered. I wasn't even that bothered at the end of it, you know. I really weren't because I was giving credit to Fulham more so because they deserved it. They were too good. We were too bad. But this has been coming. It really has been coming. And when you take Alvarez out of that team, when he was missing, he was sick, and then you put Ward-Prowse and Soucek, my God, you've got no defence of the back four at all, and they get exposed. And again, to me, continuously worries me every game. I don't believe Aguerd's a good centre half when you're doing a low block. I think he's only a good centre half when we're doing the attacking shit.
Yeah.
I think he's better going forward as a centre half, having space behind him so he can make up the ground if it goes over him. Shit like that. I just don't think on the low block he's very good. Zuma again, he got out jumped for the header that led to their goal, and you go, wow. I think Soufal's effort in that was amazing. He won't get any credit for it, but that guy tried to make things happen. Him and Bowen, the only two who have any credit at that game. They worked and worked and worked to try and get something going, and it just didn't. So, yeah, fair play for them.
In response to Wally's, let me just read his comments. Always good to beat Spurs. I love beating Spurs. That's Robert and Wally. Our fans were good all game. Right, I'm going to be honest with you, yeah? I think I would have rather have lost 2-1 to Spurs, because after 20 minutes of that game, I would have said, look, just give us a 2-0 and let us get out. I thought we were going to do it. But to go away to Fulham and score 5, that would have been good. And Bowen probably would have got at least one of them, and he would have kept up his run. So I think I would have rather have, this season in isolation, I think I'd rather have just taken that 5-0 win. Because I don't see who we're going to beat 5-0. Who are we going to beat 5-0 this year?
They've done it twice in a week.
Who are we going to beat? I'm saying, I'm so tired of this dire football that I would love to see us score 5 goals. So I think this season, I would have took that 5-0 for West Ham.
Yeah.
But,
No. I don't think we're beating anyone 5-0.
Robert says, move on for fuck's sake, and I agree with him.
Let's talk about the Tottenham game. The only thing is, since they've moved to their shithole stadium, new stadium, we've had some good memories there, haven't we? We've had the Antonio one when he was jumping about, and we beat them there. We're the first team to win at that new stadium. And then we had that Lanzini screamer in the last tick of the game to make it 3-3. We've had some good memories come out of there, so it was nice to add to that by beating them. But they came down to earth real quick.
With a crash bang wallop. But credit to Fulham. Like, I don't know how many teams, barring Man City, in 4 games, one can score 5 goals twice in 4-game period, and then in that 4-game period they've scored 10, 14, 17, 16 goals in 4 games.
Unbelievable.
So they're averaging 4 goals a game in the last 4 games. That's crazy.
Do you know one of the commentators? I wrote that right at the bottom. I didn't see it, and it had Man United have scored 2 more goals than Luton.
Only 2 more.
Yeah, that must have been the stat came up by the commentator in that Luton game. I just wrote down the ball.
That's crazy. Anyway, next game, says Robert. Now, Kieran says, can we keep Fliniesta permanently? What do you want to do with Flynn Downs? Stay at Southampton or come back to
I don't know. Look, he didn't really show much to me, what I seen him in. I thought he was a backwards, sideways player. But I'll say I'd be interested in what Kieran thinks of him there. Obviously, he's doing well. And that's great experience for Flynn Downs. Really good experience. He could be a good boy to bring back. This game, especially, this is crazy about West Ham. Loaning him out when you've got Alvarez and we've got no backup to Alvarez.
Yeah.
Yet Flynn Downs would have been perfect against Fulham to bring in for that
game. Yeah.
Yet we've loaned him out. And what's our plan when Alvarez is missing? And he will be missing. As you know, he gets a booking nearly every game.
Yep.
You know what I mean? He goes on international duty all the way to Mexico. So there's no plan to cover him, Souček or Prowse, and they're not good enough to do that job.
Yeah, not his job. Right. So just before we move on, what do we pick for this? Who went for somebody must have went for a Fulham win.
Waste on that one.
If anyone went for a heavy Fulham win.
I picked 1-0 to West Ham. You picked 2-2. Robert picked 3-1 to West Ham. Stu picked 2-2. Wally picked 2-1 to Fulham. 3-1 Arms to West Ham, Charlie Boy 3-0 to West Ham, and Young Kieran 3-2 to West Ham.
And let me just
So
no one clarify. Lawrence texted me, said I've got a bad feeling about this, so I won't pick a score. So I think Lawrence saw this one coming. So he gets another 10 points. Was out. What's that? Was out. What does that say, Robert? Was out. What is was out. Yeah, obviously it's did I pick this one sec. Oh, I was sick. Yeah, he's talking about Alvarez, isn't he? I think he was sick last game. I think sick. Yeah, he's talking about Alvarez, I believe. Sick last game. He's right. This is Kieran talking about Flynn Downs. His one touch passing is incredible, and he covers for our back four so well. Brilliant holding presence and can spray passes like no tomorrow.
Yeah, that was one of the pluses when we bought him. That you read his stats before he came to us. Was his pass completion was up there with anyone, as good as anyone, and but he didn't get much of a chance at West Ham yet, And I thought that's fine because he's a work in progress. He's a young lad, but it's Moyes, isn't it? You mean if you're not in favour, you just don't get any look in, and but he just looked like a half decent player.
Yeah.
I'm hoping this loan to Southampton. I think it's a great place to go on loan. He's getting game time on that. It's only going to be good for West Ham because at the end of the year, I presume that Moyes ain't going to be here, and the new manager, whoever it is, comes in, might be able to mould him into a really good player.
Right. Sorry. So Robert says no. Flynn Downs was out sick last game. I thought Flynn Downs looked okay for us, but didn't play right. For us, he didn't play much. He didn't look great. But in his defense, maybe not playing very often, and in a Moyes system, if he's someone that can keep the ball, get it back, it's not going to work at West Ham because we don't play like that. So you're not going to see the best of someone like that. So he didn't look anything special to me. But like I said, under Moyes, he can make good players look fucking average. Right, let's just get rid of this game. Let's get rid of it right now. Right, so the next game, big game, top of the table. Record setting Aston Villa 1, Arsenal 0. That was Villa's 15th consecutive home Premier League victory. Obviously, carrying on from last season. So it's a new record that was set in the 30s or 40s, I believe. Our Villa, everybody in the chat, and you, Kieran, and then obviously you can get into the game. Are Villa title contenders? Everybody that questions to.
For me, no. But are they a top 4 contender? Yes. I wouldn't put them as high as that. But the way that everyone seems to be beating each other, you couldn't write it off. You couldn't, because here it is when I'm saying that these top 3 are not convincing. Arsenal weren't convincing in this at all.
No.
At all. I bet they did dominate a lot of the game. I think Villa started it really, really well, played some great football, really got at Arsenal. Then they seemed to tail off a bit. Arsenal got back in the game. But they're not, they're not as clinical as they should be. I still think they're missing that star forward to score goals.
Yeah.
And if you have a Saka as an off game or Odegaard,
Martinelli wasn't great either. He weren't great.
No, and then you got Jesus, which sometimes he's brilliant, sometimes he's not even in the game. So I thought Villa's goal was really good, really great bit of football, all the way up on the right.
Assist as well. Who? Leon Bailey for the assist, wasn't it?
Leon Bailey. I wrote his name down for that.
Step over, and then
cracking bit of football, great cutback. Great McGinn's playing out of his skin for him. He's really
skin. Are you rapping? Yeah, McGinn out of his skin.
Yeah, McGinn out of his skin. He's but I do I rate him. It's just one of them little nuggety players that get stuck in, and he's got more skill than I think people give him credit for, and he's a good little player for him. And I thought they'd done really well, Villa. Hung on at the end. They got another handball goal disallowed, didn't they, Arsenal at the end? And it was. I think he hit his hand twice. And if you go, not that he meant it, it doesn't matter these days, does it? It hit his hand twice and they scored. He scored. And yet again, Arteta's go, when they asked him about it, I'm not talking about that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He thinks he's been hard done by,
Yeah,
and he knows what the fucking rule is.
yeah.
What he should have said, no, he hit his hand, fair enough. You know, we
Yeah.
can't argue about that. But no, he's implying that he got hard done by again. And and the other shout they had asked for a penalty. He touched the geezer's leg, right? Jesus, right? He did clip me, but then Jesus jumped in the air with his other foot and claiming a penalty. And he thinks that should have been a penalty. It wasn't. There was a bit of contact, but it was never a penalty. It was too soft. So I think the referees and the VAR got it all right. Fair play to the judge.
All right. So let me ask you this, yeah. You put the title contenders as Arsenal, City, and Liverpool, but you said they're not convincing. So why would you not consider Villa at this moment title contenders?
I just think with the European stuff and all that, they'll tail off. I think Villa again will be the same. They'll lose games they probably shouldn't.
Yeah.
And I'm still waiting for this Man City team to get players back and then go on a run.
Yeah.
You know? So I think Arsenal, not that they're convincing, but they'll still be there.
Yeah.
I think Liverpool could get a lot better as well.
Yeah.
I think Liverpool ain't performing anywhere near what they could and what they will by the end of the season. So that's what I just think Villa will tail off.
That was me just playing devil's advocate because I like you. I don't think they're title contenders, but I do definitely think they are looking real good for a top 4 or top 5 finish because top 5 could be Champions League. So that's my thinking. Let me go to the comments because these probably should have answered that question. One sec. Downs is much more suited to more intricate football than I think you'll see under Moyes. Exactly. Hooray, says Robert.
We won't see it under Moyes. That's for sure.
Right, here we go. Yeah, Stuart. Yeah, they're right. They beat Man City and Arsenal in consecutive games.
Yeah.
And they kept clean sheets in both of those games, albeit it was at home. And I'm not downplaying that, but that means they've still got to go to their grounds.
Yeah.
Villa for the double, Premier League and Conference League, says Wally. Remember, he's the man in the know. Villa is the real deal. The question is, can they last and stay healthy? That's from Lawrence. Title contenders, no, but should get top 6 with ease, says Kieran.
Yeah, definitely.
I say top 4, says Lawrence.
Well, if you put them fourth, if you can see that Man City, Liverpool, and Arsenal would be free, who could take that 4th spot off them? You know, and at the moment, who could you see that could take 4th? It's not Chelsea, is it?
No, I think Spurs with some no injuries and a few additions could be one of the teams.
Yeah, exactly. You've got to look at who's 4th and 5th. Spurs, I think, have a chance.
Yeah.
And Man United, fuck knows. I mean, you can't rely on them. 1 week a win, next week a loss. 1 week a win. You wouldn't know with it.
Right, make sense of this. Robert always does things. It's probably obvious to me, and I'm like, even when he's like, I can't hear you. That's because obviously it was West Ham, and I'm like, what does that mean? When I ask, are they title contenders? And then LQ, I think.
Is it LQ or IQ?
Yeah, I thought IQ at first. It is IQ. Is it IQ? But then what? Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know, Robert. He's been cryptic. He's been cryptic tonight.
Just making us work harder.
Yeah, he's been on the people.
Right, here we go. On Liverpool, Thiago's back in a few weeks. Oh, yeah, I forgot about Thiago. In a few weeks, and they are looking to sign Paulinho from Fulham. Oh, so
he looked good.
Oh, wow.
I forgot to mention him during our West Ham, but Paulinho was superb in that game. He dominated the midfield against us. Dominated. He was really good.
Remember, Bayern Munich genuinely wanted him as well. It wasn't no fake.
Yeah,
they actually wanted to sign him. Liverpool bound. I didn't know that. I didn't know that they're in talks.
Wow.
Right, what we got? Robert says Villa got 2 easy games next: Brentford and Sheffield.
Yeah, that should push them up the pitch, couldn't it?
Wow.
Well, there you go. There you go, Rob. This is we'll see then, because now they like West Ham. You go and perform against City and Liverpool, right? Which they have Villa. Let's see what they do here.
In the games there,
on paper they should win them games comfortably, but we'll see. Are they good enough to get them wins that they should get? And that'll tell us a lot.
And they had the last 2 at home, so I'm assuming, obviously, at least one of these is away, but potentially both of those are away games as well. But You know,
Yeah.
I like to see other teams just doing well. So, you know, if it ain't going to be West
Hmm.
Ham in the mix, which it ain't, then yeah, whether it's Brighton last year or now Villa, I love to see that because yeah,
Yeah,
like
I
I
do.
said,
I hope Villa carry on, mate, and threaten that top
mm,
three. I really do. I'd rather see them than any of the three that are there. I'd rather see Villa up there, to be honest.
yeah. And last year I was rooting for Newcastle just to get one of those spots. New team, you know, just yeah, like I said, any sports need to be competitive. So yeah, right. Let me boom. Let me read Stuart. Stuart says there's more chance of Chelsea finishing bottom four than top four. You know, we actually no. We'll wait until we get to Chelsea's game because I'm going to say yes, Stu. Mistake. Oh, sorry. All right, Robert. It was a mistake. He put that in. Right. So what did we pick for this game before we move on to the next game? Make sure you
Right.
put your predictions in later in the bits as well.
I did give Villa a credit for a draw,
Yeah.
as you did. Right, I said 2-2. You said 2-2. Robert said 3-2 to Arsenal. Stu said 2-2. Wally went 2-1 Villa.
Yeah.
Had the winner. Wally had the winner, not the score. Unlucky.
Mm.
Harmony says 3-2 to Arsenal. Charlie Boy said 3-1 to Arsenal. And young Kieran went 2-1 to Villa. So well done,
Let me just check.
Wally and young Kieran. They picked the winner, which is
Right.
Villa.
Surprise,
But not
surprise.
the score.
Lawrence went 1-0 to Villa. He texted me on last week.
No, there you go. Nice. Did you have the score as well, Lawrence? I imagine you did.
He said, "Oh, what's the Scott?" Because he don't know the play. He said, oh, "What's the funny-looking Scottish guy?" So he must be talking about John McGinn. But see, fortunately, I picked this game correctly. Yep.
You're fucking on fire, man. I just don't know what to say.
Lawrence on fire.
I'm still what? What'd you say? 14 weeks in, I still haven't got my mark.
No, but we didn't start doing this until maybe this is the 5th or 6th.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't do it from that long, but this is this is probably the 6th week of us doing a prediction.
That's still 60 games, and I'm still fucking scratching.
Oh shit! Charlie says I lost $100 on that game. On the Villa one, Villa Arsenal. Arsenal let him down, obviously.
Yeah, obviously, yeah, we had 3-1 on our picks. So.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
So let me go.
I'm sure a lot of people lost on that one.
He says, Geezer, I will give you one of my predictions. He's hard earned correct scores.
Mate, I could really cheat here anyway, couldn't I? I just could say anything.
Yeah.
You'd have to go back and watch last week's to find out if I'm lying or not.
Yeah, there'd be outrage. Yeah. Right, so this is what I was going to say. Right, Everton 2, Chelsea 0. I was going to say if Everton weren't deducted points, they would be above Chelsea, and coincidentally, they played each other. So yeah, 2-0. Abdoulaye Doucouré and Lewis Dobbin. Chelsea, once again, you just don't know what you're going to get from them. You really
They're
don't.
so shit, aren't they?
Yeah.
They're so shit. Not that it would take too much away from Everton here, because they play bloody well.
Yep.
Everton done really well. I think older Wally's mate, Dwight McNeil, he was really good in the game. You know, he's really playing well for him lately. And Doucouré, they're making a massive difference. And yet again, they've got a keeper in goal like Pickford. My God, he pulled off some cracking saves in that game. He really did. And so they've got a good goalkeeper. They've got McNeil playing really well, and Doucouré, and great finish by that young boy came on. They brought his Dobbin on, and he banged one in. He's an 18-year-old, isn't he?
Is that how old he is? Yeah, I've heard of him, but I didn't know how old he is.
Yeah, he brought him on, and he banged one in to seal the win at the end. So can't remember who scored their first goal.
Abdoulaye Doucouré.
Oh yeah, Doucouré come in. Boy shot, saved it. Doucouré followed it up and banged it. Yeah, good goal. Dwight McNeil again, he was looking very dangerous. I mean, when you think of Dwight, he's just an old sort of journeyman, Dwight McNeil. But he looked better than all the hundreds of millions of pounds that Chelsea put on the pitch. Yeah, it's mental. Chelsea are just all over the shop. Yeah, you'd think that the saviour for Chelsea would be Pochettino. Oh, my God. I don't know what they are, man. They're a mess. So
Let me check something quickly.
he's had to be on the chopping block soon.
Yeah, Stuart done a video. You know, who's going to get sacked first, Poch or Ten Hag? I said Ten Hag. If you remember when we was asked that question, I think on Stuart's channel, who's the first one to go out of the whole Premier League? And I said Ten Hag. Obviously, Heckingbottom went first, but yeah. Well, because obviously now we will get to Man United's game, and it's like, Jesus, how bad do they want to be? Right, so I'm just checking something. Chelsea sitting 12th on 19 points. They're level with Brentford, Wolves, and Bournemouth. Chelsea got the same points as Bournemouth. Chelsea are 5 points behind West Ham, which we haven't had the best of seasons, but yeah, they're 5 points behind us. So it's last year was terrible for them.
Yeah,
they spent all this money to change the manager, and they've not got no European football, and this year it's terrible again. Like everybody was saying that, before the season, without European football and with Poch back and all the money spent, they should be right around that top 4 places. And
of course they should.
Yeah,
of course they should. You can't just spend that amount of money and the players. I mean, they've got so many players to pick from, and yet they can't put a string of wins together. Or win one, they'll lose one.
Right. Shit. Kieran says Chelsea actually weren't playing terribly, just can't buy a result for love or money.
No.
Do you think they played well, or?
Well, I say the highlights. I say, yeah, they all right, but it's not good enough. You're playing Everton, mate. You know what I mean? They should be better. They should be. Their finishing's so poor. The chances they get, But they said you put a good goalkeeper against them. Everyone wants a good goalkeeper, and they've got Pickford. Even at everything they hit Pickford, we'd be safe. And the rest of it they missed. So that's the difference. And Everton were, they took their chances and scored them. Right. They didn't have a lot, Everton, but they scored the goals they needed to score. And they've got that Jackson up front there.
He didn't even start.
Not really impressed with him.
Bought Jackson. Didn't start Sterling. Bought him on.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on there, mate. I'll say, I'd have to watch the full games, really give a proper insight into Chelsea. But at the end of the day, they're losing. They're winning, they're losing. They're losing games. If you're thinking about top 4, you're going to Everton. Fuck me, they were so bad this year. You should be taking points off. And you're not. So
Kieran says, I expect them to improve drastically once Nkunku comes into the fold. He was their creative spark in pre-season before the injury, which is the forward player they signed from RB Leipzig. Good player, goal scorer. Yeah. But that was in Germany, and Werner was also.
There's a lot of good players in that team. Modric and what's his name, Mudryk. Yeah, there were a lot of great players before they went there. A very similar thing to Man United. All these great players go there and then do shit.
Stuart says, I don't speak badly on many teams, but Chelsea deserve all the bad luck they get. And Robert said, Reece James went off injured in that game. Yeah, so that's yeah. Right. Let's go to our. No, actually, shit, it's gonna be a hard one. Right, one sec, Kieran. Let me just check something here. Everton got 13, Chelsea got 19. It's a bit stupid to ask. I was gonna say who finishes higher, but all right. Let's say, for instance, this goes to everybody in the chat. Let's say Everton, the point deduction is lessened and it's only 4 points. That would put them on the same points as Chelsea. Right. So let's say they was on equal points starting from now. Who would finish the season higher?
Jesus. It's hard, man, isn't it? It's hard one to pick. It's like watching Chelsea last year. You can't believe how crap they can be with the players they've got. But I think they're one like Man United. They'll win one, lose one, win one, lose. They'll get enough points to be well above Everton, I think, in the end of the season. But that's not, there's mitigating circumstances with that. They've spent £1 billion. They should be challenging for the fucking title, not challenging to see if we can scrape a few wins together to get top 6, because that's what they're looking at the moment.
Top 10.
So, it's still bloody poor. Wherever they finish.
Right, so Lawrence says, I still think Chelsea would turn it around. Stuart says, I still think Everton finish higher with the points they have now. He's really kicking Chelsea. Right, what did we pick for this game? I want to know if anybody went for Everton, considering Chelsea sort of.
Yeah, I went 3-1 Chelsea. You went 3-2 Chelsea. Robert went 3-1 Chelsea. Oh, Stu went 2-1 Everton.
Oi.
You pick. Unlucky, mate. So did Wally. Went 2-1 Everton. Unlucky.
Obviously, Wally knows.
0-0 Arms. There's never a 0-0. Charlie Boy went 2-2. And so did young Kieran, 2-2.
Let me just check.
Yeah. Two boys gave Everton the win.
Yeah, I think Stuart just copied Wally, and
yeah.
let me just check. Oh wow, Lawrence said 2-0 Everton. Oh wow, yeah, Lawrence bang on it again.
Is that it? Yeah. Right? Crystal ball, Lawrence.
Right, let me see this. Lawrence says, I think Everton penalty will change to 6. Oh, their penalty. He thinks they're going to get a 6 point rather than 10.
They may do. They may not. Yeah, could have.
Larry.
Either way.
Yep.
When they would have seen we thought may go down even before they had the points deduction. They've turned it right around, Everton. They're putting points on the board now. So ever since they got that deduction, they've been winning, I think. So they'll be fine. I don't think Everton, whatever the points deduction is, they're not looking at challenging for Europe. They're looking at staying in the league. Maybe they could finish around 10th spot, 12th spot. And I think they will. They could be up there.
To be fair, yeah, I think Everton have looked decent this season. If you think about it, before, obviously, they've had the points. Even that, they beat us. They was getting good results. Yeah. Then they got that. Then I think they lost the next game to maybe Man United. And then after that, they've just been wins. Yeah, but they've looked kind of dangerous as well. Like, for the style of play, they are still, like, looking dangerous going forward. So, it's not like a Burnley in Everton's colours. It's, he is playing a different style with this bunch of players, and obviously he's got different players at his disposal. But yeah, I'm not going to bash their style of play. Do you understand? Like, because I think they're all right to watch. Which I wasn't sure with Daesh in charge. Right, Robert makes a good point. Chelsea's bad fixture run is over. They look pretty clear until mid-Feb. So Robert's looked at the fixtures. Oh, yeah, because he said they've got easier games. We'll see. Yeah. Right, so let's move on. We've only got a couple games left. Yeah, 2 more games, you lot. Right, Kieran, what do you want to do? Do you want to do Man United or do you want to do Spurs game next?
I leave Spurs till last, I suppose.
All right, right, yeah, I've got them last, Spurs. All right, here we go. You lot. Man United at home, 0. Bournemouth 3. It could have actually been worse than that. That's not acceptable, is it? As Man United 3-0 at home to little Bournemouth, whose stadium capacity is like 11,022 or something. You understand? Like let me just ask you this, when you was growing up, and Man United were winning, European Cups and all of that, could you have foreseen in 2023 Man United losing 3-0 at home to Bournemouth?
No, mate. As a kid growing up, there were 2 teams that, in various periods dominated English football, and it was either Man United or Liverpool.
Yeah.
And if you ever, which I did as a kid, I say kid, I was 11, 12, 10. We got a win against Man United or Liverpool at home. It was like, wow, it's the biggest win ever, especially Man United at the time. That, to me, when you look at the players they had, and this is even before Fergie days, all right, when you see the Bobby Charlton's in there and George Best, and that they were the team to beat because they had some great players in there. And that was the ultimate, to beat them, and they carried it on when Fergie took over. Then they just dominated, didn't they? And with great players, and so it was the biggest thing. It was the biggest game of the year when they came to Upton Park to try and beat them, because it was so hard to beat them. And say Liverpool had that as well. But now, since Fergie, my God, it's such all over the place there. It's a mess. Man United have turned into a mess. They were the biggest club. I'd say they're still the biggest supported club in the world, next to Real Madrid probably. And just to watch the dross that you're watching week in, week out with them. It's funny as, you know. And when back then in the 70s and 80s, even 90s, did you see the last 15 minutes of a game against, say, and Bournemouth, where the whole ground is nearly empty?
Yeah, there's emptying out the place.
Empty. Everyone had just given up and walked away. And fair play to Bournemouth. I've never really rated Solanke, and but my God, he's turned it on lately. Scored a cracking first goal, great touch. You know, got in front of the defender and side-footed it back.
He looked like a no-look as well. He looked like he looked away as he kicked it as well.
Yeah. Cracking finish. And another one that hit the post. He broke through, smashed one against the post. He's really playing well. Him and him.
Yeah.
So and it should have been 4. It did come up and
he did.
He got through past the keeper and Hana, and he did hit his hand.
Yeah.
And it's a shame because it's 4-0, and the boos coming out of that fucking ground. It's fantastic. Well done, Bournemouth. Highly deserved win.
Yeah,
I mean a highly deserved win, and they've done really well. You wouldn't believe if anyone's watching football the first time. You wouldn't believe
the history.
That's Man United and Bournemouth. You'd come, oh, Bournemouth must be a good side. That's the first time watching it. You go, wow.
It wasn't that long. Maybe it's 2 weeks ago that Man United were the form team in the Premier League, and I couldn't believe it, but they were actually the form team.
They were as crap as they were. I think he got manager of the month, Ten Hag, for last month.
And Maguire got player of the month or defender of the month, but maybe player of the month. Yeah,
I know, and you know, I don't know. It's messy that thing. You don't know what you're getting week in, week out with it. You really don't. So we'll see.
Right, let me get to the comments. But yeah, Bournemouth are currently on the same points as Chelsea, and considering the terrible start they had, they're doing fantastic. Right, let me just check. Boom. Chelsea leads again. Will makes good points. Starting to come. Here we go. Right, so Right, Kieran says starting to come together for how do you say that? It's not
Iriola.
Iriola. Iri.
I think so.
It's weird because it's an A. Ira. Yeah, I'm gonna say all right. Iriola at Bournemouth, 13 points from last 15 available.
Yeah, exactly, Kieran. Because when we were talking how bad the bottom 3 was about a month ago, the only team we thought they could catch was Bournemouth before Everton had their 10 points. But it was only Bournemouth in the conversation, really, to be that team that someone could catch before from bottom. And since then, they've just gone on an absolute run of form and points. 13, since then, put 13 points on the board from 15. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
So, they are looking like a lot better side. They're looking better than West Ham at the moment. Let's put it that way. Yeah. They look a better side cohesively around the pitch than West Ham do, and a better forward line. And Solanke, he's coming good. He's doing well.
Well, let me hold my hands up, sort of. I remember when Bournemouth were doing bad and Wolves were doing, decent. I said, do you think maybe Bournemouth might be having a think about what they've done? You got rid of Gary O'Neill, who'd done a decent job at Bournemouth. When obviously not. They picked a manager for a style of play. It's obviously taken a while for him to implement that. And now, we and definitely Bournemouth fans are seeing the fruits of their labour. Do you understand? So I just think it's a bit of time to adjust and get his message across. And now we're seeing that. So to go Man United and win 3-0, clearly he knows what he's doing.
I mean, that's the holy grail of a win, isn't it? Going to Man United or Liverpool and taking points. I mean, mate, West Ham, we talk about Liverpool. I mean, when we did eventually beat them, I think it was the Bilic season. It's 50 years since we'd won there. I went to away game after away game. It was me growing up, away to Liverpool. Never saw us win. Never, ever saw us win at Anfield. I never saw us win at Old Trafford either, for all the games I went. It never happened. You know what I mean? So, now you've got Bournemouth going there and winning 3-0 convincingly.
And other teams this season. I think Saeed from Saeed TV. I'm sure he said they've lost 7. I don't know if he's correct though, but he said they've lost 7 games already this season in the Premier League. Out of 16.
Really?
Yeah.
That doesn't sound right, does it? But
Nah, that's maybe right. Solanke should have come in to us, says Robert, because we were interested. We made a bid, I think. Yes, Robert, I wanted him in the summer. Breaking news: Turkish game all on hold as ref was punched to the ground. Was that by a player or by a spectator, Robert? All of their games are on hold, you know. That must have been a spectator. Has to be.
Fucking hell.
Damn.
We've got to sort something out with that Turkish mob, mate. They're fucking dangerous bastards. I bet it's a supporter.
It has to be, because if it's all games, that's crazy. Right, here we go. Uriola. Yeah,
call him Ariola. It's easier.
Yeah, Ariola.
Yeah, we know that one.
Was the club president? Oh my god, the club president that knocked the ref down. Jeez,
that's even better, isn't it?
They weren't a supporter then. Jesus.
Fucking hell. Well, he is a supporter.
Yeah. Hold on. And they've banned all of the games.
Oh,
club president.
That is fucking mental.
Right. So let me just get into the legalities of this. That referee, could he really take them to town for the public shame? And you know what I'm saying? Like, because it happened. Yeah. Could you like really say, well, that's affected my life? You know, everybody's seen this embarrassment and trauma, and you know, like.
Oh, mate. Well, we don't know what the fucking laws are in Turkey.
Club presidents.
In the Western world, you'd take that club to the cleaners, wouldn't you? You'd actually sue the whole club. You know, it's just we're worried. We're moaning about our players moaning at the ref. They're going over there punching it.
The club president, you know, not the ref down.
Hey,
in Turkey.
See, Arteta would do that if he could. He'd go out there and punch referees.
Yeah, he probably wouldn't hurt the ref though. I can't believe that. The club president. Woo! What teams? What game was that? Oh, you told me. No, you didn't. What game was that, Robert? Technically, it's assault. Should be. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. But because it was, surely there was cameras there and that. Like, yeah, the victim could, you know, he could sue for trauma, public embarrassment, whatever. I don't know, because it was such a high profile and the person that done it. So, and good on him. Wow, that's crazy. I wonder what team it was.
Yeah, that's serious, isn't it?
Right, let me just VAR that. Let me just check that.
Something in the back of my head, Shuey might confirm it. One a lead supporter murdered there one year, stabbed.
Oh,
to death.
Yeah.
That was in Turkey, wasn't it?
That was in Turkey, definitely. Galatasaray, I think.
Yeah, I think it was.
Right, let me check Lawrence's message. This was last week. Hi, Titch. I know it's not part of the predictions, but I'm predicting that a referee in Turkey will get punched. Yeah, Lawrence gets 100 points for that one.
Yeah, I'm predicting Moyes will get punched by the end of the season.
All games postponed indefinitely. Wow.
That is fucking mental.
Right, let me just ask everybody, you lot, just where possible, try and get everyone involved. Are Man United going to finish in, let's just say the top 5, because I think it's a probability that top 5 gets Champions League football. Will Man United get Champions League football next season? Giza, asking you first.
I actually think they will.
Jeez.
I think that 5th spot is about where they'll probably end up. They do it. They did it last year. Look, crap. They finished 4th. I think there's a heavy chance they finish 5th.
One sec. I was going to say I thought it was 2 Leeds fans. It was 2.
2, was it?
Yeah.
I do remember in the back of my head there was sacking hell.
I thought it was 2, but then I thought
really bad. Yeah,
I did think so.
It's disgusting.
Turkish football. Oh no, that was something different. Turkish football is psychotic. The team was. Oh, I've never heard of this team. Koka. I've never heard of that team from Turkey.
Yeah, well, obviously maybe not the top division. But you got to stop it, man. Fuck's sake.
Let's change Coca to Loca because they're all nutty over there. Right. Once on the ground, he was kicked in the head too.
Let's not fuck about. Hey, he didn't mess about, did he? For a boot in and all. I've got to see that.
They will finish 5th, says Stuart. Stuart says they will get 5th. Man United 7th, says Lawrence, and he's just made up earlier last week.
Oh well, you got to go with Lawrence with his crystal ball, haven't you?
Yeah, you got to go. Right, so this will be interesting to how far off we were. What did we all pick for this before we get into the last game, you lot, and then we'll get into the predictions for next round.
Right. What have I got? Can't even find it. Oh, for fuck's sake. I said Man United win 2-0. Of course they didn't. You said 2-1 to Man U. Robert said 2-0 to Man U. Stewie went 2-all. Gave Bournemouth some chance. Wally said 2-1 to Man United. Harmer said 3-2 to Man United. Charlie Boy 3-0 to Man United. Young Kieran 2-0 to Man United. No one saw that coming.
Nah.
And you would, how would you? For Christ's sake.
Oh, here we go. The video of the incident is all over Twitter. I don't use it. Just seen it myself.
Is it?
I need to check that out.
I'm sure TalkSport will have something to say about it. Fuck you, man.
Stuart, I was going to say, if you can, send me the video on WhatsApp and I'll put it in here and then we watch it. Not that it's funny, but obviously it's just.
No, it's not funny. It's disgusting. But it's just, you know what I mean?
I just want to see it.
But I say, Turkey, all them clubs in Turkey have got a terrible history of violence and stabbings, especially. They do like a knife over there, don't they?
Right, Kieran, you're not going to believe this. Guess what Lawrence picked last week for this Man United Bournemouth? Yep, he picked 3-0 to Bournemouth.
So what we got? Last game there, wasn't it?
Yeah. Right, let's go to last game. Spurs 4, Newcastle United 1. Richarlison's got 2 goals. Son took Tottenham's first penalty since Harry Kane has departed and scored. Consolation for Joe Linton at the end, and Destiny Udogie scored the opener. And I think that's probably or possibly his first goal for Spurs. But anyway, 4-1. And Spurs looked really good in that game as well. Yeah. How much of that did you see?
Yeah, I watched it. I watched the game because the 2 teams I like to watch, right, every week I'll watch their full game, bar West Ham, is Newcastle and Spurs.
Yeah.
Because you're guaranteed entertainment with both them teams. You really are. I mean, this might have been a bridge too far to Newcastle with the injuries they've got and the players they're playing. Same as Tottenham. They're missing a lot of players. But they've been basically filled in almost the same 11 now for about 4 weeks. And it's old, I think. It's this week it's told for Newcastle. They got done by, was it Everton during the week? Trippier.
3-0.
Trippier cost them 2 goals in that. And here, Son rinsed him. And they're old teammates, aren't they? When he was at Tottenham. But Son done him twice and set up 2 goals. And really he was on fire. So, and that Poro was good. Udogie. And this is what they're doing with the attacking style they've got. This is what our fullbacks will never score goals, right? Because we don't do this. We bring them up the lines and that's it. You see that their fullbacks seem to join the attack and come inverted. They come inside and then give it to Son on the wing. He skins Trippier, and you see Udogie, he ran from 50 metres to get into that box, and no one's tracked him because he's like an extra man from nowhere and just taps it in. And good goal. You know what I mean? It's just good footballing goals. It's quite smart, very tactical. And they were good for it, Spurs. They threaten this every game, didn't they? To flog a team.
Yeah.
Every game they threaten it. They threatened it against us in the first half. They could have scored 4 against us. They didn't. Just weren't that clinical. But this time they were. Yeah, and so where Richarlison's been missing chances, and today he took both of them. One was saying he had a tap in from Son, And the other one was a great ball by, was it Porro? Straight over the top into Richarlison. Great first touch and put it through the keeper's legs. Good goal. You know what I mean? And like I said, Andrews, I don't rate Richarlison. I think he's not the answer, but he could come good under Postecoglou. He will get chances and he will get him playing the way he wants him to play, and it might benefit him. He might get goals from it. And he did in this game. So, yeah, well worth the win, Tottenham. Really well worth the win. I mean, Newcastle were fortunate to get the goal at the end just to make it 4-1, but now Spurs were dominant in this game. And some good football as well.
One sec. Let me just. Do you know what it was? I had to scream record that thing, so I was watching it. Let me put it in here. I might get in trouble, but yeah, it's somebody else kicks him. It's not even the same guy. Someone else kicks him when he's down. Let me put it in here. Let me just I'll tell you what I'll do. Let me just cut off the end bit of this. One sec. Sorry. So I was listening, but I was trying to do that as well. Charlie, thanks for that as well. I picked Newcastle, but ended up betting on Spuds. Good. Let me just I don't know if you got any more to say, Kieran. I just want to put the video in my editing, cut off the end bit because it says Daily Telegraph.
No, we Spurs needed it, didn't they? They sort of needed a win after the recent form, especially losing against ours, where they dominated so much of the game, and yet we nicked it off them. Their results gone down, but the boy came back with it. Babasar, him being back now, and Romero are a big difference to the team. Obviously, they're still missing Van der Ven and Madison till January. So, but when they get them back, and if they strengthen in January, they're a force definitely for the top four. Definitely a force for the top four. But I think they'll need them players back. But he doesn't change Postecoglou. He plays the way he plays, and you will get results like this, where as good as Newcastle were, they were blown away a bit in this game. Trippier, like I said, he's been getting rinsed the last two games. And I think that is down a lot to fatigue.
Yeah.
And they've got Champions League coming up during the week. So
they asked Eddie Howe after the match, is it down to fatigue and having to play? He said, look, if I commit to that, then it's kind of not making an excuse, but then for his analysis and stuff like that, So he's saying I can't. Yeah, you don't want to say but obviously what the answer is. Of course it is. Right. Let me just save this and then put it in here, and then I'll show. It's crazy. He's got a massive shiner as well, like a lump under his eye. The ref.
Jesus Christ.
Sorry, you lot, that I was a bit quiet in that. I just want to put it in here, and all this is for me is it's just we heard about it. Let's have a look because it's probably worse than I thought. Now that I know someone else has kicked him as well. Do you understand? I thought that's crazy. Put it in here. So apologies, you lot. And what we do? Actually, no, Geezer, give us our predictions for. No. Before that, everybody in the chat. I'll ask these questions every week where possible. Who finishes higher out of these two? So that's for you, obviously, Kieran, and then everybody in the chat.
Yeah, this is tricky. I think with Newcastle, with the Champions League and everything they got going and all their injuries, I just think, Tottenham will be ahead of them. I don't think Newcastle will drop like stone, but I do believe that Spurs with players back and maybe a spend up in January, I reckon I could see Spurs finishing above them.
Right. I agree with you. I think it'll be Spurs because they ain't got no European commitment. They're out of the Carabao Cup first round. So it's the FA Cup and the Premier League for them, and that is it. One sec. So Lawrence says Spurs as well. What do you lot think? Let's check this. After the opposition got an equalizer, that happened. After an equalizer, Spud's healthy. Are a really good side. Yeah, they are. Yeah. They are. The first 11 and maybe two subs that could potentially come on. Perisic and Richarlison might start. So yeah, they've got 14, which normally you need more than that, but they've definitely got 14. good players under Postecoglou. Right. Right, this is in there. Let me play this for you lot. Yeah, let's play it now, and then we'll do what we picked. Let me put this on the screen. It'll take up the full screen. And thanks for that, Stuart. Here we go.
Fucking hell, man.
Jeez.
Wow, that is immense. There's got to be serious repercussions there, isn't there?
But you see, unlike Paul Alcott when Di Canio pushed him over, and that guy looked traumatized. He did actually look fearful, you know, like.
I would as well in Turkey.
Yeah, that's bad. That's not good. That's really bad.
That's bad.
Oh gosh. Wow, exactly. It's worse than when Robert first said it. It's for me, like, you know, you just picture it, but it's worse because I think the other guy, like someone else was that enraged that you've also kicked him while he's on the ground as well. Do you understand? Like,
oh, that's fucking. Mate, you lost, mate. The game's lost when you allow that to happen, man. That's got to be.
Charlie,
that's dead wrong.
That's a dive. Yeah, listen. And,
That's VAR, that. That's VAR. See,
look, however serious that is, listen, there's always comedic value in everything. You know, he's the guy. He's fine. He's not. Yeah. So there's no. I like comedy, but nah. That's I want to see what happens here on in because he could actually take them to the cleaners because it's so public as well, and it's the people that run the club, or at least one of them that run the club. Man,
that club could get kicked out of all competition.
Exactly.
Everything. And he could be going to jail.
Yeah.
It's serious.
Because once again, you've got to make an example of certain things, especially something like that. Otherwise, it don't look good on your game and your country when it comes to that sport, your country, it don't look good unless you sort of
really bad.
Right. What did we pick? And then after this, we're going to get into the predictions for the next round. Right. What did we pick for this? Did anybody? I don't think no one would have picked 4-1, apart from Lawrence.
Oh, you're having a laugh, mate. I picked 3-1 for Spurs.
Oh, ooh.
3-1. I got close. That's not bad. That's not a bad pick, that, man. You picked 2-1 to Spurs. Robert picked 3-2 Newcastle. 2-2 for Stu. Wally picked 2-1 to Spurs. I picked 3-2 to Newcastle. Charlie Boy picked 2-1 to Newcastle. And young Kieran picked 2-1 to Newcastle.
Let me just check.
So, I got closest. I'll get a tick for that. I'll win.
No, you didn't. You didn't. Lawrence says 4-1 to Spurs. So,
Lawrence. Yeah, I forgot that. Oh, well, right. I'm glad I got close.
No, you did. And that was a hard one to pick because obviously Spurs had just come off the back of a West Ham defeat. Newcastle's back of an Everton defeat. So it was a hard one. One that really you'd think could have went either way.
Yeah, you wouldn't know.
Nah, tough one.
You wouldn't know.
Lawrence has got his trophy. He's probably got his trophy in his house now, shining it like, I won. Right, you lot. As always,
I'll get a bit of paper.
Yeah. But listen, I've got a question. You know what? Would you rather? Today, I just, it's probably a generic, probably been asked 1,000 times, but I just thought of it today. Would you rather be rich and the same status that you have now, or wealthy and famous? Be honest as well. Rich, Kieran. So, would you rather be rich and have your current status? You're known as little as you are, or do you understand? Or wealthy and famous. Be honest.
Yeah, I don't like the famous bit. I wouldn't. I wouldn't be into that, mate. Yeah, I'd rather keep a low one.
Yeah, me. I'd rather. Yeah, my answer is Rich, Rich, and me as I am now. But yeah, if anybody is the opposite, don't. Yeah, like I want to know, wealthy and famous or rich and your current.
That's the trouble with the fucking world at the moment. There's too many wankers who want to be famous or whatever pathetic little thing they do. They want to be famous. What? I don't know why.
Look at Lawrence with his trophy. Said, "I will never have another week like this."
No, I mean you won't, Lawrence. That's for sure. I've got a funny feeling, Lawrence. Your picks this week won't be as good.
Yeah.
I'll guarantee
The
that.
only way is down. Wally, outstanding. Yeah, because Wally got 2 this week, isn't it? I wouldn't want to be famous, says Wally, so he'd rather be rich and
yeah.
You know.
Wally wins this week. He got 2 right. You got 1 right. That's it.
Yeah. Charlie says rich and no fame for me.
Yeah. Same here.
Robert says the same. Rich. Listen, there's nothing wrong with being rich and famous, or wealthy and famous, I should say. But for me, yeah, you know, if I ever won the lottery, it'd be very few people that know that. I wouldn't be one of. Yeah, so. And that would be rich rather than wealth. But,
you wouldn't even tell your old woman, would you? You just tell her to pack a bag.
Yeah.
Tell her to pack a bag. Get packing. You're off.
Yeah. So Lawrence is the same. You know, rich, but you don't want the fame. So yeah. But you know, the reason I knew that everybody here would just be rich. I just knew, and you know, generally knew that. But you know, of course, there's a lot of people. If you went into a bigger chat, there would be people that, they want that fame and that and the wealth.
Yeah,
but
mate, there is. You see it all the time. All these people on TikToks and fucking want to be first to saying something and say stupid things just to be first and not necessarily right, and get known for it. You know, want a viral video or whatever. What a load of shit.
Nah. I really, that's not me. I would never want to be famous.
Unless that fame meant, you know, scoring the winning goal in an FA Cup final, I'll take that.
Yeah, exactly. But we're past that, so that ain't gonna happen. So yeah, right about now, nah. Especially not being wealthy and famous, you know, like at the same time. Right? Yeah, like nah.
It's even worse being, you know, famous and skint.
Yeah.
Fuck that. That's bad.
Yeah.
And there's plenty of them.
Yeah, but you know, that are putting on a facade of you're broke.
Give me the first game so I can write it down.
Right. Sorry, the first game, everybody, is fixtures. Nottingham Forest at home to Spurs. Let me just get rid of this.
Wow. Ooh.
Let me get this back.
Can Spurs bag it up, Gazer?
What did Robert say there? Robert says, spill the beans. You won a 10 on the lottery. Nah, I don't even do the lottery.
No.
I don't even do it. Right. We've got a scoring already. Right. So, this week's main man after Lawrence is Wally. And he's put his scoring. Right. Forest v Spurs. I've got my score in my head. Got it. Ready? Right. I'll tell you some of the score. I got mine. I got one the same as somebody else's. Right. So Wally says Forest 0, Spurs 1.
Yeah.
Robert says Forest 0, Spurs 3.
Who said that? Robert.
Me and Stuart are saying Forest 1, Spurs 3.
So I've already written mine down. I said 3-1 to Spurs.
Yeah, I had it in my head, and then see Stuart put it in as well. So yeah, that's my thing, because I do see Forest scoring at home. And then the final one, we're waiting on Kieran and Charlie Boy, is Lawrence says Spurs 2, Forest 1, so 1-2. Just waiting on Charlie Boy and Kieran. to put in their scores.
Hang on.
Let me see that
All right.
phone. Yeah, Charlie Boy and Kieran. Baby, that
Yeah.
phone. I like it when it be moved. Right, Charlie says Forest 0, Spurs 3, which is the same as Robert. And then Kieran. Is Kieran still here?
Is he still about? Or
I'm not sure actually, because his last comment, Kieran. I don't think he's here, but he might do what he done last week and come back.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't think he's
Okay.
here. He hasn't commented for a little while. All right. Thanks for that, everybody. And if Kieran does come back, we can just catch up. Right. So the next game, Spurs must be Friday evening, 8 o'clock. That one is right. So, no, there's no early kickoff. Right. This is an interesting game. Bournemouth at home to Luton. Let me see that. Bournemouth, Luton. 2-0 Bournemouth. 2-0 Bournemouth.
Right, hang on. Right, who are we saying?
Right. I'm saying 2-0 to Bournemouth.
Same here.
Right. And then
Already written.
Lawrence has got his in. Lawrence says 2-2. You got that?
Yeah.
TDT has said 2-1 Bournemouth. Stuart. Let me see that phone. Baby. Right, Wally says 1-0 Bournemouth. So it's probably going to be 1-0 Bournemouth. You got that?
Yeah.
Robert says 2-2.
Charlie boy.
Charlie says 3-1 Bournemouth.
Right.
That's everybody, excluding Kieran. Like I said, if he does, he can just catch up. Right. So the next game is Chelsea at home to Sheffield United. Surely.
Yeah. Surely.
I'm gonna go 2-1 Chelsea.
Sick of picking these Chelsea and they never win.
Creaky chair. Yeah, I'm gonna go 2-1 Chelsea.
Yeah, I got 2-0. I'm gonna go 2-0 Chelsea.
Well, that is echoed 2-0 by Lawrence, who got 10 out of 10 this week.
We went 2-0.
Lawrence and Robert have said 2-0. Wally says 1-0 Chelsea. Stuart says 2-1 Chelsea. And finally, lastly, Charlie says 3-1 Chelsea. So that's everyone.
Do you know that they're capable of Chelsea of sticking 5 or 6 past one team sooner or later? Sooner or later, they'll get it right and just stick 5-6. So that'll happen.
Yeah. And maybe
this could be it.
If it was Sheffield United under Heckingbottom, it would have been it, but maybe under Wilder, less likely, but still possible.
Yeah.
Right. Oops, let me drop my damn phone. Right, next game is Man City at home to Crystal Palace. Man City v Crystal Palace. Man City. I don't even know what Haaland's injury is.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go 3-0 Man City.
I'm gonna go 2-0.
I was gonna say that, but I thought, nah, surely it's got to be more than that.
But they're hard to predict at the moment, Man City, aren't they? They're not firing on all cylinders yet, so you never know.
Right, Lawrence says 4-1 Man City. Charlie Boy says 2-1 Man City. Robert says 3-1 Man City. Wally says 1-0 City, and I think it's just Stuart. Yeah, Stuart still has to put his in. So that 2-1 was for a different game. Yeah, 1 sec. We're just waiting on Stuart. 1, 2, 3, 4. Did Robert? Yeah, Robert did. Yeah, Stuart. We're just waiting on Stuart. So everybody's gone for Chelsea victory, and Stuart says 2-1 Chelsea. So me and Stuart got 3 of the same results, I think. 3 out of 1, 2, 3. 3 out of 4. Me and Stuart got the same. Right.
Yeah.
The next game is Newcastle v Fulham.
Wow. Yeah.
Fulham. Remember, you lot, before you picked, Fulham went away to Anfield and scored 3. They scored 3 at home before that against Wolves. They scored 5 against Forest at home, 5 against West Ham. Right. What we got here?
This is a tough one. It really is. Really is.
Well, Stuart's gone for Fulham to win 2-1. Yeah, this is a tough one. Lawrence has gone for Newcastle to win 3-2.
Lawrence says.
Yeah. Sorry. Not Wally. Robert says 3-3, which would be a cracker. And wouldn't surprise me with, the way Newcastle are letting in goals and Fulham are scoring goals.
And Newcastle got to play Champions League during the week as well before this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Wally says 1-0 Newcastle. And finally, Charlie says 2-2. Oh, we haven't given ours yet, have we?
No.
Right, so Charlie said 2-2.
Charlie going 2-2.
Yeah, that's everyone in the chat. And now let me think. Jeez.
I got to think about this.
Right. Newcastle's little blip's got to come to an end, and Fulham's purple patch at some point has got to come to an end. So with that theory, I'm going to say Newcastle 3, Fulham 1. 3-1 to Newcastle. Did anyone else put that? Yes, Robert.
No.
I'm going 3-1. Yeah, Robert's got that. No, he didn't.
Robert?
He said 3-0. No, he said 3-0. Sorry.
3-0.
I'm looking at his last game. I just saw his name up there. That was the previous.
Because I had it in my head 3-1 to Newcastle too, but they've got the Champions League game.
And the thing is, they might go out of the Champions League, so they might be deflated. But I'm sticking to that 3-1. Yeah, I'm saying 3-1. But they could be, deflated after that early exit, which is looking.
It's hard not to give. It's hard not to give Fulham a goal, isn't it? But
yeah, especially Newcastle not fully fit squad and all of that.
I'm going to go 2-1 Newcastle.
Same as.
Who done that?
Nobody.
No.
All right. Thanks for that, everybody. Next game is Burnley. Ooh, it's the Sean Dyche derby. Burnley and the Dwight McNeil derby. Right, it's Burnley at home to Everton. Burnley v Everton. Burnley v Everton. Burnley v Everton is gonna be 2-2. I'm going 2-2, and there'll be a penalty in that game. 2-2.
I'm going to go 2-1 Everton.
Okay. Stuart has said 2-1 Everton.
Yeah.
Lawrence has said 2-0 Everton. Wally says 1-0 Everton. Great minds think alike, because Robert says 2-2. Yep. And then it's just...
Is that Robert?
Oh, shit. Charlie's 2-2. What? Hold on. Charlie's 2-2 was from the previous game, wasn't it? Yeah. Oh, here we go. Charlie says 2-1 Everton. Sometimes it gets confusing.
Mm-hmm.
Have you you done yours or no?
Yeah, I said 2-1 Everton.
Oh yeah. All right. So next game is Arsenal at home to Brighton. Arsenal, Brighton, everybody. Arsenal coming off the back of defeat. Brighton, not as good as they were last season. Surely it's got to be in Arsenal.
I'm in already.
I'm going 2-0 Arsenal.
I'm going, and I've already written it, 4-0 to Arsenal.
4-0. Bloody hell. Right,
I've got a feeling they're going to
turn it on.
Yeah, I can see Brighton, they're up and down a little bit this, and I think sooner or later they're going to get it all right, Arsenal, and smash someone. And this is it. 4-0 to Brighton to Arsenal.
All right.
And I haven't been right all year, so I wouldn't take too much notice of that.
Right. I said 2-0, yeah? You got that?
Yeah.
Right. Stuart says 3-1 Arsenal. Lawrence says 3-1 Arsenal. Wally says 1-0 to the Arsenal. 1-0. Yeah, he's going 1-0 Arsenal. Robert says 3-2 Arsenal. And Charlie says 4-1 Arsenal.
Ooh.
And he says Arsenal pissed away so many chances on Saturday. So he's thinking they're going to convert them. Maybe like you are. They're going to.
Yeah. I think there's a game coming they do, and they just bang them all in for fun. I think this could be it.
Okay. Right. So that's everybody's for that one. Right. So next game is Brentford at home to Aston Villa. Brentford, somebody's pointed out already that they've lost 4 out of the last 5. It was either Stuart or Robert, I think, said that. So,
yeah, Robert did, didn't he? Brentford. Yeah.
I'm gonna go. I was gonna say 2-1, but I'm gonna go 3-1 Villa. I was thinking 2-1, but I'm going 3-1. 3-1 Villa.
I'm gonna go 0-2. 2-0 to Villa.
Right. Stuart says Brentford 1, Villa 2. Oops. Lawrence says 2-2. Robert says 1-2. So Brentford. Is it Brentford? Brentford 1, Villa 2. Yeah. That was Robert. Charlie says sports betting is legal in Florida now. So that's just recent, yeah. That's crazy, isn't it? Like, because I remember you used to have to go out of town, innit, and place the bet somewhere else and all that nonsense.
Go to Vegas for it. Plenty of it going on there.
So I swear he was in New York, but didn't you have to go? Where did you have to go when you was in Brooklyn? You had to go over the bridge to somewhere else. I'm sure to bet before. I think. Right. Wally says Brentford 0, Villa 1. And Charlie Boy says Brentford 1, Villa 2. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's it. I remember now. He used to go to New Jersey. New Jersey? He has to go there to bet. New Jersey, yeah.
What? So certain boroughs you weren't allowed to bet, Charlie?
Yes, yeah, must be, yeah, because in Brooklyn he couldn't. And I remember he used to go New Jersey.
Go New Jersey.
Yeah.
But New Jersey, it's not one of the boroughs, is it? New Jersey, is it? It must be outside of New York, New Jersey. Yeah, it's outside, isn't it? Yeah.
Just though. He said it's legal in New York now too. So why was it illegal? Like in this day and age, in these major countries.
Do you know? Well, it's a similar thing that happened here in Australia, right? It was legal in New South Wales, right? The pokie machines, right, but not in Queensland. The Premier of Queensland kept them out. And the rumours are they kept him out because the people of New South Wales that were controlling the gambling were paying him shitloads of money not to let Queensland have it.
Like
Because when I first came to Australia, people used to do bus trips. You know, the border of New South Wales is only an hour away from here, if that, 45 minutes. So they used to organise bus trips to go just over the border where there were these big clubs you could play the poker machines. And that went on for years and years and years, and the revenue was massive. Eventually, Queensland did bring in the poker machines here, so that now they're getting a massive cut, and it's big bucks, man. It's billions of dollars, you know, a year. So,
right, to charge us because the government wasn't getting a cut.
If I'm getting a cut now, especially here. When I go to the club I've got around the corner here, it's got, and when I say poker machines, your one-arm bandit things, yeah, like it's exactly the same as the Vegas machines. That takes big money and it pays out big money. And they've got about 260 machines over in that club across the road. 260 machines
in one place.
In one place, and there's 20 places around here with them. Right?
What, near where you are?
Yeah, every club, and they reckon every machine over an annual year is worth about $250,000 to that club.
Damn,
That's what they'll earn from each machine. So you add that up. That's how mad it is. That's taking a lot of money out of the community. I'll tell you, going in them machines. You only hear about when these boys win. But the crazy part about it is, you know, they'll open at 10 in the morning. There's people going in there at 10 in the morning to gamble on these things. It's fucked a lot of people, ruined a lot of people.
Yeah, trust me, I know about that shit.
Serious addiction, yeah.
For a long time, betting was only legal in Vegas, Atlantic City, New Jersey, and some Indian reservations.
Yeah, yeah. They've done well out of it. The Indian reservations, fucking hell. They've done real well. See a program about them on that. Amazing program. It's on reservation land, and they put the casinos there. And basically, the casino though pays for everything in the town.
Wow.
I forget what tribe of Indian it was, but fuck me, they get a percentage of the casino profits to every member of that tribe in that town.
It keeps them sweet, innit?
Yeah, and plus they fund the schools and they fund the medical, everything. So everyone wins. It's a really good setup. Forget the Indian tribe that it is. Well, the boys would know. But wow, it's it's a really good setup. They're laughing like yeah. And they get, even when they're kids, if you're part of this Indian tribe, when their kids become time for university, it gets paid for by the casinos. They pay for their education, and they get a payout as well. They get this sum when they become of age. They get something like $100,000 payout. That's because they are, part of the tribe.
That's crazy, but in a good way, like, because obviously,
in a good way,
it's not a good thing, but at least some of those funds are going to real causes. You understand? Like, that is a good thing, actually. Really
I think it was the guy I talk about, Peter Santinello.
Yeah,
he's one of his shows.
Yeah.
He goes around, with the Amish, with the Latter-day Saints, with the Hoods. Well, he done one on that. He's one of the Indian tribes there. Done about 2 or 3, but this one was this tribe, how well they're doing because of the casino, because it's their land, so they get a percentage.
All right, so if it's their land, how was the casino built on that land? Did they have to authorize it under these terms?
Yeah, it's authorized probably by the chiefs of that tribe. Yeah, you put it here. This is, it's been going for a long time now, and it's really, you want to see the houses there, really nice. This ain't some reservation, it's technically a reservation, but it's the nicest reservation you've ever seen, I tell you. Yeah, everyone's a winner, Where the casino, no one wins at the casinos in Vegas. That's just big companies taking the money, So, it does go, a lot of that money does go back into the town. Really good.
Lawrence says, he wish he was betting on his predictions.
Yeah, I bet you are, Sam. Let's see how you go next week. Like, put all your money on these ones. See how you go. Got funny feeling might not be so good.
Right. So, right. Let me go to 1 sec. We've already got a couple more games. Premier League. Right. So fixtures. The next game is West Ham United at home to Wolves in the Craig Dawson derby. Yeah, West Ham v Wolves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeez, I haven't even thought about that, mate. Jesus Christ.
West Ham v Wolves. Oh,
Fucking hell, if it...
Oh, Gary O'Neill played for West
Yeah.
Ham.
You play anything like we did last weekend? Jesus Christ.
You know what? One thing I would say is if we was a Wolves fan, I would say we got to be wary that they've lost 5-0, they're at home. You expect a response.
But we got an extra game during the week as well,
which is a crucial game because we need to win that game,
and we have to win it now. At least draw it.
Oh, not yeah. You can say yeah. We need to not lose that game.
Yeah, but the thing is now he has to go. He has to go heavy there, doesn't he? He can't field half a team. He has to go as strong as he can.
Yeah, exactly.
Which it might affect the Wolves game. So
the result or the outcome could determine how well we do on. If we win the group, it could give us a little spring in the step. If we don't, where really and truly we sort of fucked it ourselves, then maybe it's a tough one to call because of that European game. Right, let's get into these things first. Right, Stuart says 2-1 to West Ham. I think he was the first. Yeah, it was. Lawrence says 2-1 West Ham. Charlie Boy says 1-1.
Yeah. I sort of had that in my head too, but I've changed my mind.
Wally says, Mystic Wally says 1-0 West Ham.
Yeah. Can we get a second clean sheet of the season?
Robert says 2-1 West Ham.
I'm going 2-0. I'm going to back us again for a clean sheet. Didn't work last time, but I'm going to go and say we're going to win it 2-0.
So you're going for a West Ham clean sheet?
Yeah.
How many of them beverages have you drunk today?
Yeah, only half. But it's got to happen sooner or later. We've got to get another clean sheet.
Yeah, even Sheffield United got a bloody clean sheet at the weekend.
And I'm saying it after we just got pumped 5-0.
I don't have your optimism.
No, I don't really, but
especially not for a clean sheet. Man, this could be so bad. I think Wolves are going to score 2 goals, and it's just, have we got it in us to score more than that? I don't think so. I'm going to go 2-2.
2-2.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Jesus Christ, couldn't be any worse at the back than we were in that game. We just couldn't.
Well, famous last words. Geezer, now you see why you haven't got any right.
Yeah. God, yeah, right, man. I know. It's more hope than anything that we might have a really good game and win. Because someone's got to kick them up the arse after that drubbing we just had. So, yeah.
Right, so we have actually covered all of no, we haven't.
Is there one more game?
One more, and it's a massive game. Sorry.
Is it?
Final game is the later kickoff on a Sunday. Liverpool at home to Manchester United. Have it. Big game. Historically.
Big
rivalry. Game. Jeez, Liverpool, right. I want Liverpool to spank them.
Right. I'm going straight in with that. 2-1. 2-1 to Liverpool.
Okay. Fairly close. Right. So Stuart says 4-0 Liverpool.
There's always it. No matter how shit Man United are, even whatever they're doing. When it comes to this game, it's different.
Usually.
Usually, it's it's a lot hard. Even when they're crap, this game's a tough game to win. So that's why I'm going 2-1. Yeah.
Wally's been very conservative. He says 1-0 Liverpool. Robert, I like Robert's prediction. He's saying 4-2 Liverpool.
Wow. Yeah.
Lawrence says 3-1 Liverpool. Stuart said he's been around Lee's dealer too long with his 4-0 prediction. Charlie says this will be a good one as well. 3-2 to Liverpool. You've given yours already, innit? You said 2.
Yeah. Only you. It could be one of them games. I don't know.
I'm just picturing Ten Hag with his head in his hands. I'm going to go 4-1 Liverpool. And I know normally they are tight games. I know that. I understand that. But I think it could be a drubbing.
Well, it could be. They're both sort of been strange lately, both teams. Liverpool haven't been at their best, but getting over the line. Man United, you don't know. As I say, you don't know what you're getting with them. Every week can be different. So I just think, I remember before when Liverpool were flying, when they won the league that year, I remember Man United came who were crap all over the place. And I think they got a result.
Yeah.
This game changes it. It's a big derby for them to just think I might be up for it. I don't know.
He said, Lawrence says, if you notice, all of Wally's predictions 1-0. Wally's
they are, aren't they? I have noticed. Yeah, I'm looking at the list, his list all the way down. It's 1-0 either way. What? Is this just playing the odds, is it? Is this playing the odds? There's got to be a 1-0 somewhere.
He's bound to get 1 or 2 correct.
Well, he is. He done it this week.
Wally says, I have a system, Lawrence. It seems to work.
He's done his system.
But
to be fair, though, the 2 wins he got this week, they were both 2-1s.
2-1s, yeah.
So,
boys to men, 1-0. Right, so we've covered everything, but have we got anything else we want to maybe? Yeah,
there is one thing I want to cover. Last week we ended the show when I made a comment about the transgenders in women's sport, and I don't agree with them, and I will never agree with it. And young Harmony there got upset, and then threw out abuse, like calling her, both of us, a moron, scum and vile.
Yeah.
Right, and I didn't like that. Right, but I let it go of it. I didn't go in 2-footed, and quite frankly, I'm not that bothered about it. But I'm entitled to have an opinion when it comes to fucking transgenders in women's sport, which I don't agree with. Now, if you don't agree with it, you can argue the point with me or debate it with me. But to just throw out scum, vile, and moral, to me, it was a bit fucking too big. But there you go. And I won't change my opinion about that. Transgender should not be in women's fucking sport. If they can have their own little fucking transgender league, fine. Not a problem. I don't give a fuck about transgenders. I'm not pro them or anti them. But what I am is when it's unfair in women's sport. And it should never fucking happen. When fucking transgenders go into women's sport and then start winning, and young women are losing out because of it. I don't agree with transgenders guy going into women's changing rooms. To me, it doesn't sit well. And I'll stick with that as well. Because it opens the doors for weirdos to just call themselves women and end up in fucking young girls' changing rooms. Because that will happen. There's enough weirdos out there that will take advantage of it. So, and that's not good for the transgender fucking population. Because it looks bad on them. So, I'll stick by what I said. Transgender should not be in any women's sport. I'll leave it at that.
Right, so and I will touch on that. This is not about hate. Obviously, everybody's here was here last week. It wasn't about hate. It's about something for me that is plain and simple, right? I was gonna go live the following night and just point out the obvious. Do you believe that, boxing should have weight classes? The answer would be yes. Why? For the safety of the boxers. You can't put Tyson Fury in with a flyweight because he would kill him. Same way, you cannot put a transgender male in a boxing ring or any combat sport with a female because they'll end up hurting them. Right? So this is about equality and safety and all of that, things that are in place in all sports. Right? Disabled football, right? That was brought, it was compared to blacks and disabled, which, they didn't belong in the same conversation. But even in disability football, when Stuart has done his watch-alongs, there's subsections. You have people with, maybe a missing limb, blind football, cerebral palsy, right? And I use my son as an example. My son is autistic. He's able to do everything, right? And he's a beast. What? So if it was just disabled football and my son's playing against a blind boy, we would have something to say about it. It's not fair, is it? But my son is registered disabled. So you have to, where possible, make it competitive and, separate all types. Never race. Yeah, no one spoke about separating race because we've been there already. We've done that. This is about separating it into a competition where it's fair. And not, you understand? Like, so, yeah, just to clear that up. That was anybody that was in it would see. It was not a hate thing or nothing like that. Clearly, it's just about what's right. It's obvious. But yeah, we have to clear that up because, we got labeled scum, vile, morons.
Yeah, that's a shame because Harmony's been in the chat for a long time and she took that tone. But I will say it again for people in the back that don't want to listen. Transgender should not be allowed in women's sport. And that's it. So why that is such a controversial opinion, I don't know. Because this world it's not the world I grew up in, that would be deemed as fair. But it is for some sports organisations. They seem to think it, because we're seeing it week in, week out now, where they're taking first and second places and in sports and taking gold and silver, where the woman comes third. And they're guys. They're blokes. Crazy. Well, there you go.
Right, I'm glad that a couple of you have commented, yeah. Stuart said, I wouldn't like a transgender man to go in a public lose after Shirley Ann. Of course, because, right, we are all entitled to our opinions. My opinion is no trans in women's sports, of course, agreed. But clearly, I don't hate trans. Yes, because Wally said, he's looking for that 10 out of 10 trans, right?
Yeah, still looking. He's still looking.
Just like any other subject, there's always comedic value. If people's on there just making jokes, it's life. It's but no one is. Listen, each to their own, and I mean that. If you've got a good heart, you can be who you want to be. I don't care. It doesn't, and I mean it respectfully. But yeah, something that we had to clear up because clearly, we get the same people in it. You lot know straight away. We definitely ain't scum, and we definitely ain't vile, and we're definitely not hateful people. But sometimes you have to address things. You have to respectfully as well. None of us have gone in and that is out of respect. Once again, for even though it wasn't reciprocated, we were disrespected. We're trying to come at this as respectfully as possible.
There you go. Touch his life.
Yeah, look, he said he's still looking for that 10 out of 10. There's nothing wrong with wanting fairness. Exactly. That's what it is. Listen, you're like now.
One shoe.
Yeah, one shoe. I did say to you, and this is the reality. And I said it last week. Don't open those floodgates. And the floodgates would be, you have a transgender women's team, but it's all transgenders, and they are top of the WSL, which is obviously the English Premier Women's League, that have been built up and all of that, why not? If you can have one playing transgender playing against why can't you have a whole squad? You can. So you have to be very careful as how far this, because once those gates are open, now it becomes discrimination. When you try and pull it back, it becomes discrimination then. Why are you taking us out of it? You understand what I'm saying to you? So we just need to be careful what sort of precedent we're setting. And for me, we shouldn't even be having this discussion. It's obvious. Yeah. No worries, Wally. But you lot know anyway. You lot know. But like I said, when they come off these videos, we've got about 8 people in the chat. The video might end up with 30 views, 40 views. That means other people are tuning in, even if it's for 5 minutes. I don't want to see somebody tune in for the first time and their impression is that we are scum and like, because you lot know that we definitely ain't that. So
Not at all.
yeah,
Not at all. Everyone, but to their own. It's as simple as that. It's everyone to their own. They can believe what they want, but I'd like to respect other people's opinions. I expect mine to be respected. Now, if you don't, and I just find this a very typical reaction from a lefty woke type socialist who'd rather shut down the conversation, throw names at people rather than debate it. It's a very common theme these days. And I just think when you go down that road, when people stop talking and debating, then you're lost. You're lost. And the society suffers. So, there you go. Anyway, on that note, I'm telling you this week, I am going to get one right out of this. It's going to be my week. I'm looking at my predictions. I'm telling you now, I'm getting at least 2 right. I know it.
I think he's got
Could happen.
Groundhog Day. I'm sure he said the exact same last week.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I said that last
week. But yeah, so I'm trying to think. You lot, we will be back probably Monday. Let me just check this because I think the last fixture is on Saturday, Sunday. Yeah, so probably it's Monday today, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. Tuesday for me.
So yeah, we'll probably be back in a week. What's he say? He's laughing. He says 1-0 Giza. Yeah, probably next Monday. And it'd be good, to see all of you lot as always. But yeah, thanks, Giza, as always. Thanks for you lot in the chat for taking part. Any final words from you before we end the stream?
No. Fucking 5-0. That's my fault. Sickening. But it happened.
Yeah.
So just back Freiburg. We got Freiburg to look forward to. Hopefully we just do what we've been doing in Europe for the last couple of years, and that's just get the job done. And my worry is that, in Moyes' head, he only needs a point. I'd rather he needed 3 points because it could end up being a little bit too defensive, I think.
Well, we'll see. We'll speak about that on the next one as well.
Yeah, we can talk about that after. I think we'll do it. We know our record in Europe's good, mate. He does handle the European games better than he does the fucking Premier League. So hopefully he'll get the job done.
Do you know what, actually? Depending on what's going on Thursday, maybe I might go live. I'll just spur the moment. I'll message Kieran at 10 o'clock, whatever. We'll just see. Maybe. Because otherwise it's a whole week away. But that would be something different on this channel for the first time because we've only done this show. So yeah, we'll see. Maybe Thursday I'll just message you, Kieran, and say because then we'll just see. If we don't finish top, definitely not. If we do, then me. But yeah, thanks. Thanks you lot. Thanks again. Always fun. It is. You had to bring it up.
Do, mate.
You have to. You know me. I have to address things or yeah. Right. Thanks.
Anyway, I'm gonna go and iron my dress.
And we will see you all next Monday, but potentially on Thursday. But yeah, we'll see. Anyway, ciao.
All the best, guys. See you later.
Thank you.